Okay, let's try this again. A little bit less, I feel a little bit less incompetent. I'm sure I'm going to feel super incompetent for the first few times I do this. But my wife and daughter have gone out for a play date with another family. So I have a little bit of time to kind of get ready for another video. I haven't done a video in so long. Um, and yeah, it's cool to be trying this again. Let's get rid of these things. Can't concentrate. So, what do I want to do in a stream? Oh, have I done these streams before? Have I done any streams before? Oh, this is going to be distracting. Let's close that window. And maybe close that window. Okay, so have I done a stream before? Yeah, I've done a few streams. I work for a company called Datadog, and I did a stream about, I guess, the first day of reInvent for AWS, Amazon Web Services. Um, we just looked at what were the new things that were announced on day one at AWS reInvent. Mostly focused on serverless because that's what I'm mostly focused on. So AWS Lambda related announcements. Um, but and then I've done some other streams that have been also work related. Joined in on other people's streams, but I really want to do a stream on my own. And one thing that's really neat is that I now have, what is that? Why is that looking there? I now have a 8M Mini Extreme over here. Can you see that? It's right over here, which I really like because I can save to a disk. So I've got an SSD attached to this. I can save to that disk at the same time that I'm streaming, and I'm recording all 8 tracks. So that's super cool. Hey, I got a comment. That's awesome. Your video on the plank was super useful. Hey, yeah, thanks so much. Maybe I should. I guess I can see the chat window. So I got a couple of comments already on the chat. Video about the plank keyboard was super useful. So I'm actually using the plank right here, and I love this thing. I really do. I use a keyboard layout called Workman. Actually, Workman. Well, it's called Workman Dead, although I'm not really doing. I'm kind of doing my own version of the Workman Dead that you might find on GitHub, with other several layers, and I can't say I always remember what all the layers do. But one thing I was actually looking into just yesterday about using this is because I've got a different layout, and because QWERTY is usually what most people use, the homing keys on a MacBook Pro laptop are the F and J keys, and so they got these little homing things, nubs, and so they're up there, which is not where I want them. I don't want my fingers up here. I want them down here, and I want them over the T and N. I haven't found I reached out to Signature Plastics, and they don't do backlit keys, although their website says they do. And I'd like to find a source for new keycaps that have the little nubby things. I don't know if you can see here. There's this little sticker that I stuck on. There's a company called, can't remember what they're called. They're called something lock dots, location dots, something like that. And they're little, I don't know, the little bumps that you can stick on here. And I had some stuck to TNN, but when you use them so often, they kind of slide off. So they might have gone down into the keyboard. I did get some complaints about the video that it wasn't clean, but it's a keyboard. get over it. I guess there are some people that will dust and blow their, like with compressed air every day. I am not one of them. But yeah, so hey, Jonathan, I'm super glad that you liked the video about the Planck keyboard and about the Workman Dead layout. I find it to be really useful. I wouldn't recommend most people learn Workman Dead or just Workman in general, just because it's different enough. It took me a long time to get used to it. And I think I see the benefits of it, but I'm not really sure it's the right thing for everyone. And hey, you're a web dev in upstate New York. That's super cool. I do a little bit of web development stuff and mostly around work. So if you go to, there's a site that I run called labs.datadoghq.com. That's a Gatsby.js website that hosts our Katacoda labs. So I build that, but I also work with our LMS, and I'm building all sorts of stuff on the back end. And a lot of that is using AWS Lambda. So what did I want to do here? Well, I guess I kind of wanted to get ready for my next video. Well, one thing I want to do is, so a company that makes, oh, where is that? No, that's not it. It's in here somewhere. There we go. No, that's the old one. There we go. I did a stream a few, I guess it's more like a month or two ago, of stream about this, the GL-INET travel router. And GL-INET, did they send this to me for free? I think they sent this to me. They sent me a bunch of things over the course. I did a video that they really liked, and and after that they just sent me these devices. I actually have one, the Broom, that is installed in a closet over there, and that's kind of the I guess the edge router for my home network, and then from there it goes. There's one cable that comes over to this desk, and so all the devices here on the desk are on a wired connection. I've got my MacBook Pro, I've got my iMac, I've got my A10 Mini Extreme ISO, and there's a Raspberry Pi that's on it. There's a few other devices. I think one of the Sonos speakers is on it here. But then from that Broom, it goes over behind the walls of this apartment and attaches to a Wi-Fi access point from Amplify. And now why have the Amplify way over on the other side of the apartment? Well, because I didn't know about this, I guess, kind of access panel in the office closet. And so I hooked up the Amplify, and then we built some shelves and screwed them to the walls. So I don't have access to I can't unplug it. But it's good enough where it is. But anyway, GL-INET, they sent me this, I think this is the last one the Broom was the last one they sent me, which is that edge router. But then, yeah, I've done some other videos. Again, they've sent me the devices for free, but they have no input on what I put out, so it's not really a sponsored video. It's just they send this stuff to me and think, hey, it'd be great if you do a video. And they actually reached out to me in September, I think, saying, we've got this new device coming out. It'd be great if you did a video again. And I said, sure, I've got time in December. And then I didn't have time in December, so I never got around to doing it. So they sent me this thing. It's I guess a little bit big brother of the Broom, which again is in a closet, so I can't unplug it. but this one added Wi-Fi. So it's a neat device. It's a bit chunkier, a little bit heavier than the others, but it looks like a neat thing. But anyway, they reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in looking at a camera that that they're one of their, I guess, they got all these brands and they wanted to see would I be interested in looking at hey, Anshul Chan. Interesting name. Would I be interested in looking at a camera? So they sent me this Umino. Oh, let's switch over to this. They sent me this Umino Smart IP camera. Is that upside down or? Oh, it's upside. I need to be like this. Huh. Let's see if I can figure out how to. Hello. Let's get that around. This is actually just a GoPro. How can I get that? I need to go this way. I need more slack. I need more slack. Oh, man. That is not going well. I have to figure out a way of extending that. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's leave it where it was. And unplug the HDMI. Let's switch to this. Unplug the HDMI. And now, preferences. Auto rotation up. Okay. And now, there we go. There we go. Oh, but now I am linear. Okay, that's better. And now, that's better. Oh, but I got the microphone. I guess that was in there, but the microphone was in the picture before. Oh well, you'll have to just deal with that. Anyway, they sent me this Umino. Planky Z uses OEM R3, so you need to, yeah. So yes, the Plank keyboard, it uses an OEM row 3 key. I didn't know that until yesterday when I asked on one of the internal Slacks at the company I work at, does anybody know of something? And they said, oh, well, what's the profile? And it's OEM and it's row 3. All the Plank keys are row 3. And so I need to ask one with a homing key. And yes, I can get the custom printed with a homing key, but I haven't found one that does the transparent, so the transparent keys, and that would be wonderful to find. So if you know somewhere that does that, ooh, this shakes a lot, doesn't it? It's a very shaky desk, and then it's a very shaky mount that this camera's on. But hey, it works. So yeah, Signature Plastics, which is Pimp My Keyboard, doesn't offer it, and I really wish they did. Anyway, so let's take a look at this Umino. That's coming through. How's that? Yeah, that looks. It's a bit grainy, isn't it? I should probably put some more light on it. How can I get more light down here? Let's big light there. Brightness. And brightness there. There we go. Okay, so that's a little bit better brightness. A little bit less grainy. But anyway, let's play around with this. It's, as I say, it's a smart IP camera with battery. And they asked me if I was interested. And I said, sure. I mean, we have this camera that we set up for our toddler. And it's been super useful from, I don't even know who makes it. I think it's Eufy, same as the vacuum cleaner I used to have. But every time we go out for, a little while, I'll move the camera over so that we can watch the dog to see what she's going to destroy next. But it would be nice to have a second camera. And when they said, "Hey, would you like to get a second? What would you like us to give you a camera?" I said, "Yeah, sure." But I haven't had a chance to open it. They sent me this in, I don't know, November, December, and I'm finally getting around to it. So anyway, I'm gonna open it up right here and see what's inside this thing. And looks like it slides out right here. And put that over there. Oops, sorry. So, cool. Umino. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so Umino warranty card, cool. And now it's like it's got a little stand, a little nubby thing. What's in here? Or maybe I should read the instructions. What am I supposed to do? Power adapter is not included. Okay, so a little speaker. Supposed to be able to get this off. How do I get this off? Press and hold the reset button. Power key. Okay, so I need to get this thing off. Jesus. Oh, okay, so the whole thing kind of comes off. There's a little SD card slot. Looks like it comes with an SD card, but you can't actually. The ridge is on the wrong side, so that's a little annoying. But anyway, and then there's a power button. Probably not any battery in it. It sounds like there's something on in the other room. I wonder if my YouTube is turned on my TV. Oh, that's weird. I don't know what that noise was. Okay. Anybody still showing up here? Okay, so I'm going to, what else is in this little box? Take this guy off. Am I supposed to leave this on? Oh, it looks like there is a battery in there. Wonder how long that lasts. Need to sign up for an account. Wow, that's a pretty decent manual. Oh, so I need to use my phone to connect to it. Install the app. Okay, so let's go find my phone. Okay. I should probably set the... okay, so let's see. I need to... Camera. Install the app. Okay. Adore me. What's that? Oh, while you're kind of looking at my phone. Oh, MIT Technology Review. Okay. One thing I use a lot on here now is Obsidian. The mobile app, super cool, super amazing. But anyway, I want to look for that Adore Cam. Looks like I need to sign up. Email, password. Okay. Yeah, I made it really bright. Oh, what was that? Oh, that was the camera. Log in using that. And create a password. Nice long one. And copy that. Paste. Paste. I hate companies that require short passwords. It only works with a 20 character or less password. Okay, so 19. Done. Paste. I don't want to receive news or updates. Alexa, disconnect.
There's no Bluetooth device to disconnect.
You just told me you're connected.
You can unpair or forget a device using your Alexa.
Okay, shut up. Okay, so at Alexa, disconnect. Yes, you are connected.
But you can unpair or forget a device using
Alexa, disconnect. You're not connected. Why do you just say, okay, disconnected? Okay, so add device. Battery, camera. Allow while using app. Let's go back to overhead camera. Enter router password. Okay, let's turn that off. What is my router password? is trying to autocorrect my router password. Copy. Does not support 5 gigahertz. It only supports 2.4 gigahertz. Remove the protective film. That's a pretty neat idea. So it grabs the configuration from my phone based on, okay, aim the lens directly at the QR code at 5 to 8 inches. Well, that's pretty cool. A tone will be heard. Hear a tone. I heard a tone. Okay. Okay, this is going to be, I don't know, this is going to be the living room. Okay, takes about 5 hours to charge fully. Okay, got it. There's a mounting hole. And, oh, I don't want that. Okay, next. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, how do I turn? Well, that's pretty neat. Alternate view of me. Finish. So now, yeah, there we go. That's pretty easy to set up. Hello, this is Matt.
Hello, this is Matt. Hello.
Pretty cool. Versus the Eufy cam. Right now my daughter's not in there, so nothing's going to show up. But it feels like it's almost the same app. It's very similar. Slightly different, but very similar. And looks like we've got auto night vision, status LED, video flip, I guess, so I can use upside down. Power manager, optimal battery life, optimal surveillance. Cool. High sensitivity, low sensitivity for motion detection, audio settings. Pretty neat. And video storage. Okay. Looks like it's an 8 gig card that they gave. And yeah. So let's go and, did it come with a mounting? What's this? Oh yeah, there's a little mounting bracket and some screws to screw it to your wall. I'm not screwing this to my wall because I'm in an apartment. And, okay, my mounting bracket just came apart. Oh, interesting. I don't know how long the battery is going to last. But let's go and okay, so you can see that, and I'm going to go put it somewhere neat. Okay, how's that look? Oh, that looks pretty good. So there you can see out my window right now. And if it were a little bit less cloudy, you would see right there, probably going up to here, Mount Rainier. And this is Puget Sound. And kind of right there is the Holly Cove, which is a little inlet right by where the ferry comes in to Bainbridge Island, where I live, Bainbridge Island, Washington. So that looks pretty neat. I'll have to play around with a few things and then make a video about it and publish that. So I guess that was the unboxing of the, what was this called? Umino Smart IP camera with battery. Cool. So let's put this away. I've been eager to see what's inside this, and is it going to be any good for quite a while. And it looks like it'll be a fun addition to my setup. I'll be able to easily set up a camera to watch the dog as the dog poops on our living room floor and does all sorts of other things that she really shouldn't do. Okay, so that is super bright now. Let's go back to, that's not what I want. There we go. A little bit too dark. Let's turn that up and then turn that one up as well. There we go. Cool. Okay, so what's going to be next? How does this sound? Does this sound okay? And how much more time do I have available on my recording? Looks like I have recorded about, is that 44 minutes? Am I 44 minutes into this? I really am. That's amazing. And it looks like the recorder, the disk that I'm, the disk that my SanDisk SSD that's plugged into the ATEM Extreme has about 26 minutes left, 24 minutes left. Cool. All right, so what else did I want to do? I want to pull over my keyboard. Let's take a look at what I was doing yesterday, because I think that was pretty neat. Let's switch over to camera 3, which is my desktop. This is my kind of work desktop. Let's close this and close this. Okay, we'll close the Stream Deck, close the Apple App Store, Sublime Merge I'm playing around with. Let's, I don't know what's going on there. Typinator. Typinator is a keyboard, kind of like, what's the other one? The text expander. I like Typinator a little bit better because, well, first off, it's no subscription. And there's got some other neat things I really like. But it just works. It works really well. There's some things about working with databases that Text Expander doesn't really do as well, and Typinator does really well. Probably the biggest reasons why you haven't heard of Typinator is that Text Expander has an amazing affiliate program. If you mention Text Expander and you get somebody else to buy it, Text Expander is going to give you money. And Typinator doesn't do that. And that's probably the biggest reason why you've heard more about Text Expander, because they make sure that they pay off all the people that talk about it. So I think that's it. It's I'd say an inferior product. Typinator is just so much better. Their documentation's not as pretty. Typinator. I think, I'm not sure where they're from. English is, I don't think, the first language. And so, all these things kind of go against their ability to be super popular. I do like here's this thing that's super cool. They've got these plugins or predefined sets, and one of them is date steps. So let's bring up Obsidian and create a new note for today. And if I type in TTT, that turns into, actually no, let's go DDD for date. So that's today's date. But if I add a plus sign to the end, it's increasing it. And if I add minus sign to the end, it's decreasing the day. What happens if I go to, yep, it goes down to, and does it know about 28 days in February? Let's see. Oh yeah, cool. So it's a smart calendar, smart date, and the plus and minus is just super, super, super cool. What else did it do? Oh, it looks like I can do previous day, next day, and then 1 week up and 1 week ahead. 1 week ago and 1 week ahead. How do I do that? Previous day is +1. What do I have to do? Day delta. Okay, so with a previous day and next day, it's a plus and minus. With 1 week ago, oh, cool. Look at that. So I just used the angle brackets, left and right. You can see right here. Can you see it? Let's zoom in there. So the kind of less than, greater than sign, angle, are they angle brackets? Yeah. And I can, so if I bring up Obsidian, do DD, and now, nope, that is not it. What am I doing? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Now, you might be wondering, why was I having trouble typing the greater than, less than sign? If I switch over here on my Workman Dead keyboard, this is actually on this key right here is comma and plus, but it's if I press shift, it's the left than, less than, and right greater than. But because I don't have the shift key over here, I do have the shift key over here, so I can do this thing. But the keyboard I've set to auto shift, and so if I hold I have to hold for like half second, then it auto shifts up. I just have to remember that sometimes. But that is super cool. So let's switch back to that one. Okay, so that's really awesome. So it does. Typinator has a lot of these features for around regular expressions. So if you do double caps, and so here's the regular expression for 2 capital letters in a row. So it's a new /b is a new word, basically. And then IJ or CC. I wonder what IJ and CC are. But basically, if it sees that, then I don't know. I don't know what it does. it's funny. So what happens if we do this? So if I do hard, no, oh, I don't have it turned on. So let's turn on the double caps. Okay. Double caps. I wonder what that does. Inline calculation is kind of neat. If I do a whatever my formula is, so 1 plus 1 equals, oh, I don't have formulas turned on, right? No, I do have it turned on. Oh, and then I have to do the question mark. Let's do it in 1 plus 1 equals, and then add the question mark, and it multiplies it out. So let's do something bigger. Times, oh, there we go, and it multiplies that out. That is pretty slick. What else can I do with Typinator? Auto-capitalized sentences. You know, I was having this weird issue yesterday where there was an extra thing that was happening. I just had to turn everything off. That's why everything's off right now. Plain clipboard text. Oh, this is awesome. So if I've got let's say I was reading this article about deduplicating an array, what are some ways of doing it, and it's really talking about using the set in JavaScript, the set type. And let's say I want to copy this, and I go to today's article. I can do I think it's VV, and it will do basically a command V. So it's a nice one less key or I guess you're typing with 2 keys, but doing that command V toggle is sometimes a little bit awkward, and just doing a VV is super easy. And I don't know of any words that use 2 V's. I guess I could, if I were doing savvy. Oh no, it doesn't do it if it's, oh, that's nice. So it has to be the beginning of a word. Where was the plain text? Whole word. It's interesting. It's not. If I type in savvy, it doesn't. But if I just do it at VV, it does. If I do, and then kind of wait around a bit and come back up and V, it does. Let's get rid of these. So does I have to do, yeah. But if I do savvy word, I think savvy has 2 V's, it doesn't do it. That is awesome. It does this high superscripts and subscripts, so I can do, you know, maybe I want to superscript a 1 after this word. So hi, no, it's hi 1, and there it is. Created that superscript. What else is really neat about Typinator? Autocorrection, a lot of US words. You can also load up English words, or there's got a number of languages. And then pairs. So anytime you're doing a parentheses, and I don't think, if I turn that off, does Obsidian do this anyway? Oh, Obsidian is doing it anyway. But does notes do it? No, so let's, if I type in a left parentheses, nothing happens. But if I turn on pairs, it does add that. So cool. Okay, what else is neat? And I think I've said that I don't want, oh, cancel. Obsidian should use pairs, but anyway, I can say that, well, in the case of Obsidian, don't use the pairs because it's already got that built into Obsidian. So don't use that. And I created another group called Use Obsidian, which is things that are just in Obsidian. What was it I was trying to figure out? Oh, double caps. How does that work? So info. Here's the explanation of. So the first rule excludes common exceptions like CC'd or I. I think is, what is the I? It's like I mean, there's the I, which is the body of water just north of Amsterdam. Is that a river or is it a lake? A man-made lake. That was kind of blocked off in the 50s or 60s after the big flood. But other exceptions are MSC. But if you do double caps exceptions, and so what's the thing that's trying to solve? So if I type in, so yeah, that fixed that double. I'm not sure when I would do that. Since I've got the auto shift, I really have to hold down a few 100 milliseconds before I get a shift. So I don't know I'm ever going to do the double caps unless I want it. Auto cap exceptions. Oh, nice. So I'm auto capitalizing sentences, but I don't want to auto capitalize these words. Pretty cool. Tidbits autocorrection. And then what are some of the ones that I'm using? So I've got my bio, I got my phone. If you want to call me, you can call me right now. Don't call me. What else is in here? Talk titles. I don't know what that is. If I type in GHDD, it goes to github.com/Datadog, GHTBT, github.com/Technovangelist. My email addresses, the time, TVLST and TVM are mostly just ways of doing Technovangelist. So if I do in TBT, that autocorrects, or MTM, or TVM, or what was I? GHDD. Just quick ways of putting those things that I type in a lot. That's my recording. I got about 16 minutes left. So maybe I should, what was it I really wanted to get done? I wanted to get done my recording for Obsidian, right? So I have a script. Obsidian script. I'll work on the Obsidian script. Let's go to File Explorer. And I think I've got in here a video scripts. There we go. Where do I sync? Oh yeah, I was going to look at what am I actually doing. What was I doing yesterday? So, oops. So let's go to projects, Datadog, e-commerce workshop, Terraform, EC2. So at Datadog, we've got this e-commerce workshop tool that is kind of a sample app that we use throughout all of our training courses and a number of other places. And it normally gets deployed via Kubernetes or Docker Compose. And we've got some alternate ways of installing it. Basically, you can, let's see, github.com/datadog/e-commerce workshop. If I come in here, this is the GitHub. And I can add, under deploy, these are different ways we can deploy it. There's a, if you want to use ECS on AWS or AKS, Azure Kubernetes Services, you can use Docker Compose. You can do something on GCP, either use GKE or VMs. Oh, interesting. So if you just want to use virtual machines, is that what it is? I assume it's not on VMS. Interesting. You can do all those things, but I wanted in a way to deploy this application onto EC2s. And in order to do that, I wonder if I am streaming well. For some reason, my bandwidth went down. I got anything weird running here? I don't see anything that should be taking up a lot of bandwidth. I don't think I've got anything over there. Well, in Terraform, okay, it's not deployed yet. So let's go take a look at, I'm in this directory, e-commerce workshop deployed Terraform AWS EC2. Is that the one I want? No, I want to go to projects, Technovangelist, e-commerce workshop, deploy. If you're wondering what this autocomplete box that's popping up, this is a tool called Fig. But I want to go to Terraform AWS EC2 and expand this out. And so this is a Terraform setup for deploying to AWS. So if I take a look at the main, let's zoom this in a bit. First thing I do is, well, this Terraform script is going to create 4 EC2 instances on AWS. And after it creates those, it creates a run script that is going to SSH into each of the 4 boxes and automatically update a host file so that all 4 instances can see all the other 4 instances. And so the first thing I want to do is just delete those 2 files, the internal host file and the run shell script. And then it copies this run shell template to run.sh and it sets run.sh to be executable. So the run shell template is just basically putting the hashbang /bin/bash at the top and is creating a function to check SSH. So it just basically tries to connect to SSH over and over and over again and run an echo command. And once it finally does, then allow it to move on. Otherwise, it sleeps. So let's go back to main. I've got a few things around creating a, setting up the provider. So I'm using HashiCorp AWS. I'm using a e-commerce app key. So I create one of the first steps you need to do before you run this is SSH keygen with a name of a key, and I recommend using an e-commerce app. And then it's going to create the first AMI. So I'm I've got this variables file, and one of the things in here are the AMIs to use for the main AMI is this one, or the Ruby AMI is that one. And there's some other, the name of the key file. But back here on main, I want to create that based on the AMI. I've given a subnet ID, a VPC group ID, an instance type, all these things. So it's, if you get it, you go through in the instructions. The instructions are pretty easy. Looks like you just need to clone the repo, make sure you've got all the AWS keys set up, go into the directory, do a Terraform init, do a keygen for that e-commerce app key, edit the variables Terrafusion, what did I call it? Terraform. I said Terrafusion. Edit that Terraform variables file with all the things you need to add. Set some environment variables for the Datadog API key and RUM app ID and all those things. And then you just run the command and do the run.sh afterwards. And you're going to have this system that's all, it just works. It works quite beautifully. So that was something I've been working on for the last few days. Here are the user data files for that are going to run on the machines when they first boot up. They're going to do things like set some environment variables, install some basic things. This is a advertisement service that's a Python app, so make sure that Python 3 is installed, clone the GitHub repo, install the Datadog agent, and then run the tool. Same thing with the database. There's a few database commands, installing Postgres, and then setting the default user to be available. Same thing with discounts and with front end. I'm setting up the network stuff. So I figured out my IP address. And so I create a security group to only allow connectivity from my machine and nobody else. So even if you see this and you somehow see the IP address that I use, you won't be able to access it because the security group only allows me. Some really neat things in here. I'm really... It sounds like Stella might be coming home. Sounds like I might be ending this stream. Not that it really did a whole lot, but looks like I may have to listening for Stella, who is right outside the door, it sounds like. Anyway, so that was something I've been working on for a few days. I'm trying to build out a new course on the Datadog learning site that is monitoring workloads on top of Kubernetes. And one of the first parts of that is migrating an application from traditional EC2s over to Kubernetes, and what are all the steps you want to think about, as well as what are the things you want to pay attention to. That, if you just spin up an application on EC2, you don't really have to worry about noisy neighbors. Well, I guess you do a little bit, but a lot of that's been taken care of. But with Kubernetes, that becomes perhaps more of an issue because it's each of the nodes are your nodes, and you don't really, unless you know what's going on, you don't really know. If I spin up a new application, is it going to run on this node or this node or this node? And if you've used multiple pods, they may be all on the same node, they may be on different nodes, and how that is being orchestrated becomes really important. It's really, really important to monitor, really important to know. So, yeah, that's the course that I've been working on, and I'm going to be leveraging some of that material, especially the migration from EC2 to Kubernetes for a course I'm going to be doing with AWS. It's a live stream that's going to be happening. We're still planning it out, probably in April or maybe May, late April, early May. Wait, March, February, March, April. Oh, we're in April. So probably May. I hope it's in May, mid-May to early June. And we'll be doing a live stream with AWS. We're going to be probably going to be a free 2 to 3 hour workshop. So as soon as I know more, I'll be tweeting about it. And that should be a lot of fun. I'm still building out the content, but the first step was creating this Terraform environment that builds out the entire application. Yeah. Oh, the other neat thing that happened in the last few days was I am now the MC for DevOps Days Seattle, which is coming up in just a few weeks. So I'm the guy who introduces all the speakers, like Emily Freeman, who is the keynote, as well as one of my former colleagues, Jason Yee, and other people who are speaking at DevOps Days Seattle's. I'm the MC, the Master of Ceremonies. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Actually, what else did I want to do? I was going to play around a bit with, looks like there's a new version of Hammerspoon. Interesting. Okay, I wanted to play around a bit with Obsidian. So let's switch over to Obsidian here. And, Obsidian is my main note-taking tool, and it's really cool. What did I say with Tony Detroit? Okay. Yeah, it's just my main place for notes. I will go to, today's note. This was, I didn't really say anything good. I was just kind of playing around with stuff. But I've got, Command T goes to today's note, and I can, I am doing a stream right now. One thing that I've recently found is, I use Alfred a lot. And with Alfred, there is with Alfred, I can do there's a workflow called Obsidian Utilities. And this allows me to very quickly add a note to the daily journal. So, so DJ, this is a cool note about something I am working on. And as soon as I go back to Obsidian, there is that cool note about something I'm working on. So that's another one of the ways that I use Obsidian. I love the fact that I can very quickly see all the tasks I've set for myself in different places, and that's all updates all automatically. I love having a list of all the links to this note and to other notes. Not really much in there, but let's do a search for Kubernetes. And maybe I have another Kubernetes document. Auto-scaling Kubernetes. Why am I not mentioning any of these things? Let's go to the Kubernetes article. So there's Kubernetes and all the things that are linking to Kubernetes. I can see that here, as well as other things that have mentioned Kubernetes but are not linking here. There's so many interesting ways of working with Obsidian, and it's just amazing. I don't really have anything to say here. Anyway, I was going to record a video. And since I can record and stream at the same time, I might as well just record and stream at the same time. Video scripts. Script for video about Obsidian. There we go. So this is, let's see, 12 months. It's been 12 months since has it been 12 months? Yeah, it's been about 12 months, a little over 12 months. 12 months. It's been 12 months since I've been working from home, since COVID-19 changed most office workers I know to remote workers. It's also about 12 months since I made a video. Yeah. For some folks, the last 12 months have been their introduction to YouTube. We've seen new streamers on Twitch and other platforms, so why have I been so quiet? Why am I popping up now? It's been a busy few months. This is a little bit about me. You don't care about me. So actually, I'm going to delete all that. I'm just going to say I've been busy. Some folks, last 12 months have been their introduction with YouTube. Well, change. So I'm not going to talk about all the things I've been doing because that's just me. New living arrangements haven't made it easy. We live in an apartment with walls that seem to be made of paper. And the only time our daughter is guaranteed, I never get guaranteed right, guaranteed to not make a ruckus is when she is at school, and that's working hours for me. Okay. This will change soon as we just bought a house and I am super excited about the fact that I have a dedicated office far away from everyone else. Okay, so let's get rid of all this stuff. One thing, I don't have to worry too much about just deleting stuff here because if I go to my GitHub, github.com/tbt Technovangelist /Obsidian Vault. Here is my Obsidian Vault, and it's automatically updates. So if I go to, let's see, this updated recently. Let's go to video scripts and script for video about Obsidian. And look at the blame. I see that, actually, let's go to history. Last time I made any changes were back in March, but I can take a look at this version. Looks like I made some changes to this paragraph, and you can see the update to that paragraph here as well as here. Oh, basically adding a link so I can remember it later on. But anyway, I can delete stuff pretty easily and not really have to worry about it because I'm using a plugin. What is it? The GitHub Obsidian Git that says back it up every 15 minutes. I think it's disable push. Okay, no, that's not turned on. Let's make sure it's turned on. Obsidian Git is turned on. Cool. So I can delete all this and not really have to worry because I've got a backup in case I need to go back to a backup. I can start thinking about, okay. At the same time, build a new interaction. Yeah. Okay, so I did a bunch of stuff, but nobody cares about that. Well, that last video that I had a chance to make was a doozy. How much time do I have available? 5 minutes. Super popular. Okay, MKBHD would think it was a dud, but for me, it was incredible. In case you missed it, I made a video about using Emacs to take notes, more specifically about using OrGrome on Emacs. Who'd have thunk that a video about Emacs would be so popular? I'm at well over studio.youtube.com. And content, the making connections in my notes, as I'm at 26,000 views, which for me, as you can see from everything else, is, well, the Planck Easy keyboard, I'm at 32,000, which is amazing. But that's, you know, there's a few 24,000, 31,000, but, you know, these are the top of my people who watch my videos. It's 25,000 is amazing. Most of these are not. So it looks like that is the ferry. The ferry is very upset at a boat. 44,000, 32,000, 31,000. So the connections in my notes, at 26,000 views, it is the top 4 video that I've ever made. Well, apart from, there was one about write facts when I used to work for a company called OpenText. And that video had hit about 100,000 views. And also one of the videos I'd done for Datadog, as well as one for, what was the company I did some videos for? They did software-defined networking. Same company as one-on-one domain registrar. God, what was that name? Profit Bricks, I think was the company. That also had about 100,000 views. But so anyway, 26,000. I'm well over 26,000 views so far on that one. But it hit folks in a weird spot. There's some who have used Emacs for everything for 20 years and think it's all everyone needs, and I undersold it. And then a lot more who think that it's way too much work for someone who just wants to take notes. I see where both of them are coming from. But for the folks who love Emacs, I probably would too if I invested 20 years into using it. You'll need that time to really grok it. But for the rest of us, it's just painful. In emails and Twitter and comments on the video, I was asked if there was an easy way to get started with Emacs. The quick answer to that is no. After all, it's Emacs, and there's nothing easy about getting started with Emacs and then installing something extra on top. The only easy way to get started is to avoid it. That's going to go over well. Unless you're already using Emacs. Yes, the dozen Emacs users who watch this are going to hate me now. Sorry. You could also use Roam Research or any of the other similar tools that Roam is clearly based on, but you aren't going to be using org Roam. It turns out there's an alternative tool that is everything org Roam can do and more, and brain dead easy to get started with. It's called Obsidian, and it's quite amazing. And I've been using that for about 12 months as well. I'm Matt Williams. I'm an evangelist and trainer at a software company. I don't think I ever actually say where I work. Well, I did a few times today, but I think you can figure it out. I make videos about the tools and technologies I use to help me get my job done. If topics like that are interesting to you, then consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification button to make sure Obsidian. At its core, it's a lot of similarities to Roam Research and org Roam, as well as their predecessors like MindForger, Trillium Notes, and Tinderbox, and others. MindForger, Trillium Notes, and others. There's a list of files or notes, an editor for those notes, a backlinks viewer, and a graph that helps make connections. There's even, if I look at, there's even a mobile app, which by the way is super cool. So let's go back to, though something weird is happening. My synchronization isn't quite, oh, there it is. So daily notes, where I click is hard. So I was typing, I don't know if that's in focus. I don't know what the closest focusing distance is. I'm doing a stream right now. There's a cool note about something I'm working on. So video, that the mobile app is awesome as well. Okay, so what did I say? There's a list of they let you make links to other pages or other even parts of pages. And they can include those files in each other. Okay, cool. That sounds pretty good. I wrote this script. When did I write this? I originally wrote this about 9 months ago. And it was amazing then. And then I've just been busy. I don't really feel like doing this on the stream. What else should I be doing? Do you have any questions for the crazy people that have stuck around here? Oh, you're just looking at my desk. For the one or two people, me and probably Jonathan, or I don't know who else is here. Is there any question that you'd like me to answer? Anything that you wish? Oh, looks like my recording is about to die. Any questions that you've got? No? I'm going to stop the recording because I need to stop the recording. Still here. What? Why are you still here? I haven't talked about, have I said anything interesting? In my rambling? I don't know. Has this been at all interesting? God, I feel terrible. I wasted your time. No, it's been fun. Anything I can answer for you. I'm gonna go find another disc. Another SSD. I like Obsidian. Yeah, awesome. I love Obsidian. So I'm glad you like Obsidian too. I'm gonna stop that recording. I'm gonna unplug this guy in. Oh, that's not USB-C. That is a USB. Another USB. There we go. This goes. No, I need USB-C to. Oh, crap, that's not going to work. USB-C to that thing. Find one for that. USB. USB. Nope, nope. Is this it? Nope. USB-C. USB-C. There's only USB-C cables, and not the cable I want. No. I need one other kind of cable. The cable I need is always the one cable I cannot find. I really have a mess here I need to deal with. The number of cables I have is a nightmare. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm glad that my tool sets were enlightening. Then maybe I should go over other tools. Where's the plug? I cannot find this. HPC. Find that. There we go. Okay, and this plugs in here. Oh, we only have 9 minutes available on there. That's not gonna work. Another SSD. So the new home that we bought, I have an office that's going to be just off the garage, and so that space is going to have. I'm going to be able to move all the storage stuff. So there's a huge amount of storage in here that is just storage. I'm going to be able to move that out into the garage, and my office will just be an office. I can do work stuff and other stuff. So that's going to be amazing. I don't have another drive. There is another drive in here. I don't know where another one is. Well, let's start recording on this. Well, what other tool sets do I have that are interesting then? Cancel. What else is there? Let's close this. And one other thing I do on here is one tool that I've been trying to really get into and really use on a regular basis is Anki. Anki. Some people like to call it Anki, but Anki. Not the remote control car thing, but the ability to create flashcards. And so I use, well, let's see, let's go through my knowledge base. So I've got this knowledge base. Let's go to Chrome. Let's open up technovangelist.com/notes. And this is actually Obsidian based. And it looks like content review, articles. And these are just basically all the articles that I found. Alfred, yeah, Alfred, I use Alfred a lot. That's Alfred. And Obsidian utilities. Oh yeah. Oh my God. But let's see, what am I doing? Let's close that. So this is, Obsidian, and it's being published. So I've got Obsidian publish. But one thing that's in here that's neat is, like here, I've got this as a flashcard. But let's actually go to the original. Articles. So here, the fact that I've got flashcard on this line, and then whatever comes after is going to be the answer, I can run a particular command, and that will find all those instances of flashcard and automatically add them to Anki, so that the question is, what's the ultimate goal of reading? And the answer is better thinking. And this becomes an Anki card, which is super amazing. I use that. I wish I used it more. But you talked about Alfred plugins. Let's go to other plugins or workflows that I use with Alfred. One of them is Keyboard Maestro. So I can type in KM and then what is my macro name? What's a macro that I use? I never use macros a lot. I create it for a specific task and then I just keep going. So let's see if there's, okay, display as text, rotate 180, and I can find all the Keyboard Maestro things that I've created and run it straight from Alfred. In fact, one way I use Keyboard Maestro is I've got a Stream Deck. So there is my Stream Deck. And one of these things here is for, well, there's two to turn on and off lights. But sometimes I'll turn off Wi-Fi on here, and so now the MacBook Pro is no longer able to turn on and off the lights, which are Elgato key lights, which are Wi-Fi enabled. So what I actually do is my Stream Deck makes an HTTP call over to my iMac, and the iMac has Wi-Fi turned on, and I've set up a Keyboard Maestro macro. Let's go over to machine 2. And so here I've got this Keyboard Maestro. I've got some, let's install Hammerspoon. I've got Keyboard Maestro. I've got these macros like down, left, right, and up, which are just go down arrow. And they are exposed on the public web tool in Keyboard Maestro. And so my Stream Deck just calls that IP address, the IP address of my iMac, calls that particular macro. And when I do the down key, so here I've got left, down, up, right. And I've also got volume up and volume down. If I click on volume down, I'm going to do volume up a few times. So I'll switch over to that one, and you can see I'm going volume up and volume down as I type with the Stream Deck, which is awesome. So I love that feature of Keyboard Maestro, but I also use Keyboard Maestro on this machine. So this is my MacBook Pro. What else do I have? I use Todoist. So this is a nice way of adding Todoist tasks via Alfred. Audio switch I use a lot. Sometimes input. I usually have to do this twice. Okay, well, if I need to change the input to be my MacBook Pro microphone, okay. Or something else, I can do that. Or I can also, if I want to have content going out through my headphones or my MacBook Pro speakers, or the Elgato dock, or wherever else I want to go out. So that's awesome. I use that all the time. Hook. I want to love Hook. I haven't figured out why I need to know love Hook. Bunch is really neat. Bunch is by Brett Terpstra. A way to create bunches, and a bunch will be the configuration. If you want to work on, I've got one for working on my LTI, which is a back end for our LMS at work. And so I have a bunch that says, well, open up GitHub to this particular repo, open up Obsidian to my notes about this, what I've been working on, open up VS Code to that particular folder, and maybe these other websites, and enable these other tools, and make sure all these other things are closed. That's what bunch, you define all that stuff in a bunch, and then you could just run the bunch. So that's great. I don't know why I've got two of these in here. Calm notifications. I don't know what that. I think it just turns on Do Not Disturb, which is neat. Capture to text file. I don't know what that is. I use Dash. Oh, by the way, I use Setup. So I subscribe to Setup. And Setup is amazing because you pay one time and you get, all these amazing tools. So on my Mac, I'm using Better Touch Tool, gives me better support for the touch bar. Dash. So Dash is a offline documentation tool. Hootspot, although I don't understand why I'd care about it. SSH config editor is just a nice, easy way of configuring my SSH configurations. Keysmith. So I use Keyboard Maestro, but Keysmith is for those just kind of one-off quick macros. What did I need to do? There was an application that I accidentally added all sorts of extra stuff to SSH config editor, and the only way to delete is click on each thing, click, and then wait long enough so it's not a double click. So click, 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 and I need to do it like 500 times. And so I just created a Keysmith macro to go click, 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 and then copy that and pasted it in a bunch of times. And then I pressed go, and it just did the work for me, which was amazing. I didn't have to click so many times. What else is here? Pixel Snap is great for measuring distances between any items on the screen or on a web page. Bartender is amazing for managing the menu bar. AppTamer, every now and then Chrome or something else will consume 100% of my CPU. And so this basically just, I think it nices them, and it will close them out depending on what you want to do. DevUtils is pretty cool. DevUtils is going to very quickly allow you to convert timestamps or to and from timestamps to a readable date, or vice versa. Format JSON, base64 encode, decode, test your regular expressions, though I like regex101.com for that. do URL encoding and decoding, query string to JSON, which is neat. What else do I use a lot? A diff checker, that's kind of neat. YAML to JSON is something I've used a few times, and vice versa. That sounds cool. Basically, convert from decimal to binary, or you can even choose your own radix, which I found out I didn't realize this before, but if you have a number, wrap that in parentheses, and then I think in parentheses, and then toString, and then specify a number, say 10 is going to convert it to decimal, 2 going to convert it to binary, but you can also go all the way up to 36, or you might even be able to go higher, base 36 or base 16, just by doing a toString. There's some CSS, for the beautify and minify, I rely on other tools that just do it automatically. But a nice QR code generator, that's really nice. So if I type in, that, now that's the QR code for that string. Or, if I go to DD GitHub, not DD GitHub. Oh, no, GitHub DD. So now that, if I go to that, and oh well, for some reason that didn't work. Anyway, and then string inspector, what's that? Oh, just put in a string and it just adds up the values. Oh, that's pretty neat. So anyway, that's a super cool utility. It seems that I lost my view. Chrome. Oh, there it is. Oh, I just noticed some of your other comments. Oh yeah, bunch is fun. What else is here? Pathfinder. I used to use Pathfinder and Forklift quite a bit. I haven't played around with it much. Gitfox. Yeah, it's a nice Git client, but another one that I've found to be maybe even more amazing. I just found out about Sublime Merge, which looks interesting, but one thing I really like is LazyGit. So actually I don't have anything in here. Quit. Let's go to Datadog. Let's go to TD Learning LTI and do a LazyGit here. So here I've got, this is my LTI, the LMS backend. And I can very quickly move between all the different files that I've updated. I'm not sure why I'm adding a test key to this. That's weird. But I can also go to the different branches that I've got going on here, go to the different commits, very easily cherry pick back and forth between different commits. LazyGit, it's amazing. It's a free tool. LazyGit, I think it will install with brew install LazyGit. That's amazing. But what else is here that I use a lot? I don't really use any of these things. Paul is nice. It's basically a prettier Postman for testing RESTful APIs. Merlin Project Express, because I can't afford Project, or well, it doesn't work on a Mac anyway, or other Omni Planner. Quick Lens is great. It's a Quick Lens. Just a neat tool for to having a ruler, between items on your screen. And yeah, the pixel snap does this, but I can just leave this ruler on the screen and it's always there. Or I can very easily change windows to a specific size, and so that's been really nice with Quick Lens. Proxyman is nice. It's kind of like the Charles debugger, where you can set up a proxy so that your website always goes through that proxy, and then you can inspect the REST calls. If you're using an application and it's got a unpublished API, you can use Proxyman to. You can do a lot of this stuff in the Chrome debugger or the Chrome dev tools, but sometimes Proxyman is a nicer tool for this, right? Especially if you're using an application. You're using, I don't know, VS Code. No, VS Code's not a good example. You're using, I don't know, some other application that you're using, Slack, and you want to know what are the APIs that Slack is using. You can have Slack connect through via Proxyman to Slack, and then watch all those API calls, and that's super useful. What else is here that is neat? Petrify there's a online tool for making code snippets pretty, and this is kind of a client for that, which is really nice. I can't see anything else that's really great, but I was in here because I was talking about, okay, DevonThink Search is another app, going back to Alfred. I use DevonThink a lot. DevonThink Search is a nice way of searching through my DevonThink database. I've had DevonThink for, I don't know, 15 years. So that's been really great. I've tried out so many tools for making timestamps easier to read. It looks like my recording is stopping, but the stream keeps going. But I've tried to come up with a way of making timestamps more readable. This is another one of those plugins I've tried. I'm not sure I really love any of them. Evangelism Zoom is basically I'm not going to show you the script, but it's a script that determines what day is it. Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? And depending on the day, internally at the company, we have a different Slack because we do different things on different days. They have different lengths of times. And it's our stand-up, our daily stand-up. So it goes to one of the 5 different or 4 different Zoom sessions at the right time. Fake'em. This is fake data. If I need to inject an address, a person's name, a photo, something else, Fake'em is a nice way of kind of pushing that in there. So let's go to fake. And now I can do an address, and that will, let's go to Obsidian. And that's a good one. And so now there is a fake address. Fake. I want to have another address. I think there's a way of saying fake address US. No, there's a way of saying what you want. So like what or IP address. Let's just throw in a IP address. Fake city. Oh, that's a lovely name for a city. Fake. Looks like my wife is calling me. Hello. Hey. Okay. 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 I don't know. Where are you? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Well, I can do that. Okay. Well, then see you soon. Cool. All right. Bye. Okay. So, what else is there? Fkill is just basically being able to kill the different processes that are on my machine. So, is Chrome. So here's all the different things I can kill with Chrome. I don't want to kill Chrome right now. Or Obsidian. I can kill Obsidian if I wanted to. In fact, related to that is top. And so here are all the top CPU users on my machine right now. In fact, with top, I think I can... oh, I thought I could... oh yeah, so if I press enter, now I can limit or I can kill that. Anyway, Font Awesome for quickly bringing up all the Font Awesome characters. So FA light, and that's not lamp. Oh, there we go. So there are a bunch of Font Awesome things that are lamp related. Funnel is great for converting text. So sometimes I want to funnel the clipboard text through filter. And what do I want to do? I want to do markdown. Convert markdown to HTML. Or what's something I sometimes have to do? UU encode. Encode. Okay, so URL encode. So change all the spaces to %20s and or HTML encode or base64 encode, whatever I've got in the clipboard, which is super awesome. Git repos and GitHub repos had it's been okay. One of them requires logging in, and our company doesn't. I haven't been able to get access to the work-related repos. Highlight for syntax highlighting code in the clipboard, which is nice. Kind of like that thing that creates the screenshot, but just using code. Moment for doing time-related stuff, just like Moment.js. In fact, I think it's just using Moment.js in an interactive way. We talked about Obsidian utilities. I've played around with lots of different ways of creating new files. Like sometimes I want to have a template for all the file, for all, maybe for a new project, I want to have it create 10 different files. Kind of like what's that tool called? Yeoman. But without the overhead of creating that Yeoman definition. I haven't really found one. Package managers. So I can do a search for npm, and it's going to look for all the things on npm. What do I care about? What did I just say? Oh, Moment.js. Moment.js. So I can use, Moment.js, or here's all the other things. And if I press enter, it just goes straight to the description about whatever I just pressed enter on. Brie. I don't know what Brie is. What else is there? Pin plus for using pinboard.io. Pinboard. I can't remember what pinboard is. Pop toggle. because I use pop clip, but sometimes I want to turn it off. TP, what do I do? PP? Can't remember how I call this. PT. PT. It's in there somewhere. I sometimes use it more often, but I can't find it. Process control. Oh, that's the top that I showed. Sometimes I just have this question in my head, and well, I want to solve this one problem, and if I solve that, I just will feel better. But I don't want to. I really shouldn't solve it now because I need to work on this other thing for work. And so if I want to record that question, but I don't want to, I want to do it now, but I shouldn't do it now. I can just do Q, another question I need to find an answer for. I don't know, what's cool about, what was it I just showed? I don't know, BJS. And so now, if I do a QS, and oh, didn't I have something about B? Yeah, what's cool about BJS? So it's basically just a text file somewhere on my system that stores, it's a text file that just stores questions. And I've got another one for, I think it's called Spark. No, Spark. Anyway, I've got these other ones that are just, oh, a Spark file. What was my thing? SA. Add to a Spark file. Just things I want to do, things, random thoughts that I don't want to forget. And so I just have, let's say SA, blah, and now that's been added to my Spark file. Where is my Spark file? So this is under Dropbox, text data, MDW, Spark. So if I go to Finder and go, no, what is the Command G? No. I go somewhere. Command Shift G. There we go. Oops. And let's get rid of the MDW Sparks. And there is MDW Sparks. And what's in here? Take a cooking class with my wife. Hey, that was a good idea that I had back in 2014. App for taking notes in YouTube. And this last one I added just now, looks like I last had a Spark about 4 months ago. What else is here? Oh, cool. Yeah, if you're going to sign off, cool, no problem. I'm going to end now because my wife's about to show up. But what else is really great? Special characters. Let's see. I want to start my own Zoom meeting. So this will quickly start the Zoom meeting, copy the invite code to my clipboard so I can very quickly paste it into a Slack room. Terminal Finder just jumps between Terminal and Finder and Finder and Terminal, which is great. Another one of these timestamp, wishing I could convert a timestamp to something useful. Toggle Wi-Fi. Sometimes I just want to turn off Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi. And that just turns it on or turns it off. TVL short. TVL is a Technovangelist shortener. So if you go to tvl.st/y, it goes to my YouTube channel, or tvl.st/ I don't know, there's other ones. So it's basically a link shortener that I created using AWS Lambda. And so it's just a way of quickly accessing that. I think it still works. And then zip. I don't know what that is. There's a lot of these weird things that, oh, VM control. Yeah, what? So this would list out all the virtual machines that are running or at least configured in VMware. So I really only have 3. Oh, actually, these, I don't even know what these are. And so those are pretty cool. if you're still here, let's see. Let's go to VS Code. What are some of the plugins that I'm using? Abracadabra. Oh my God, this is Abracadabra, and there's another one by this same guy, Nicholas Carlo. They're just tools for easily refactoring JavaScript and TypeScript. I'm blown away by the things it'll do. So there's Abracadabra, and there's another one that he's made. Oh, super cool. Better comments. I try to do better comments. I suck at comments. Colonize for very easily adding a semicolon to the end of your JavaScript or TypeScript. Dash, very quickly, if you highlight something, you can quickly get to the documentation in Dash. Dino, I love using Dino for some command line tools. So I've been, having integration with Dino is great. What else is here that I use a lot? Fig, just better support for Fig. So a lot of Get tools. Gremlins Tracker is great for finding all those non-viewable characters, like things that'll break a, if a tool needs a JSON file, it will sometimes break if there's these hidden characters in there. And so it's neat to see, it basically puts this little gremlin icon in the well, the side, whatever that thing is, the gutter. If you have this non-viewable space or non-viewable character. Hocus Pocus, and Abracadabra are two tools made by Nicholas Carlo for being able to do some really neat refactors in JavaScript and TypeScript. Identicator, not sure what that is. Highlights your current depth. So just so if you're at this level, it just kind of highlights where you are. Jest, I use Jest with Wallaby. What else? A bunch of themes. Paste JSON as code. This has been great for very quickly creating types in TypeScript. So I can copy the JSON that describes a JSON object, paste it into a types file to define all my interfaces, and it just does all the hard work for me. I kind of wish I had a version of this for XML as well, because I sometimes have to deal with that. This looks like another version of the create an image of your code. I haven't really played around with too much. Prettier, oh my God, Prettier is a life changer. Quokka and Wallaby are amazing tools for just being able to see what the output is of a function, and as well as doing just more beautiful testing. I try to do more testing. I don't do enough, but it has saved me so many times having a good testing framework in place and a good set of tests. Because when I change something and break it for other people, Quokka and Wallaby have kind of pushed that out. And yeah, you don't need to. I mean, I don't know what I think. I personally pay for Wallaby. It's something like $150, $200 a year. So for me, so worthwhile. I could probably expense it. What else is in here that's really great? Tab9 is another one of these amazing tools for, I use Tab9 as well. Just as you're typing your JavaScript or TypeScript, there's a free version, there's also a pay version. It just comes up with these suggestions of what you're going to type. And it's like, it's magic. I don't know how it comes up with these things. Like, yes, that whole long command that I'm about to type, you've just added it to the I could just go down arrow once or twice and press enter, and it's all just there. I don't know how it does it. It does it. Version lens is nice for seeing, if you've got your, what's it called, a packaged JSON, and you've got version 123 of a particular package, it'll say, well, 123 is great, but 147 is what's current. So you can quickly update to the more current version. And then a bunch of things are disabled. I was having a problem at some point, and so I just disabled all the plugins that I have. I really should go through and turn them back on. What else did you mention? VS Code, Alfred. Yeah, I think that's it. What else do I use that's really awesome? Alfred, Better Touch Tool. There's Fantastical, which is great. This is the thing for Bunch. I want to know how to. I thought I had Bunch set up, but I must have destroyed it somehow. My control center for my lights. This is just a neat tool. Graphics card status. I've had it for a dozen years. It just tells you if you're using the GPU or the integrated, which GPU you're using. And there's some other things. Well, anyway, looks like my wife and daughter have arrived home, so I have to go. This has been fun. I'm glad that you dropped by and that you're watching. Thanks so much, Jonathan. If anyone else, just wandered in. Your Planky Z is looking dope. Yes, it is. Where's my Planky Z? Nope. I've got too many cameras. Yes, it is. Look at that. Shh. Okay, and yeah, so anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I've had a lot of fun, and I will sign off now. Let's see, what am I gonna click to sign off? Bye. Oh, sounds like Stella is very upset. Bye.